Well, Reds, welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast. We bring you each and every week as part of the upper tier. You know the drill at this stage. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button. Most importantly, drop that like on the video. So important. Liverpool recap here. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. Really interesting game, this one. As Slot said after the game, probably our hardest challenge. But let's begin with Chelsea. Let's give Chelsea their props here. Chelsea look like they're way ahead of what we thought they were going to be. Maresca doing a really phenomenal job there at the moment. Still has a few tweaks and changes to find his real kind of settled 11 and how he wants that pattern of play to work and stuff like that. But plenty of work to be done there. Really the difference yesterday between the two teams was really experience. Chelsea with only 2 players, I think, over the age of 24. Really young squad with a really high ceiling. Looking at their bench as well, plenty of attacking options there going forward and stuff like that. So a lot of positive to take out of that game yesterday. At large parts of the game yesterday, Chelsea very much in control and on the attack, especially when they made the changes. The likes of Neto and all, very direct in his play and stuff like that. Great options to have from your bench and stuff like that. Some may argue maybe a starter, who knows. Let me know your thoughts on that, Chelsea fans. I think something you take out of it yesterday as well. Cole Palmer as well. I think I'd rather see him out on the wing than playing centrally. I think when he plays centrally, although he has had some success there against teams, I think in the bigger games with the more experienced teams, I think they will figure out a way and they find a way to bypass it and stuff like that. And you think about the first half yesterday where Lavia was having a lot of he was having a lot of success in there and stuff like that, and there's an argument for Lavia once he gets up to speed and his fitness and stuff like that. Questions then about Enzo and stuff like that in the team. But certainly with Palmer at times yesterday, the game kind of passed him by. And for large parts of that first half, like, he really wasn't in the game, really wasn't getting on the ball, wasn't getting much touches, and faded out of the game slightly. Obviously came back in later on in the second half and stuff like that. But I think that's something that needs to be looked at from Enzo as well, as he's addressing different players and stuff like that. Madueke, I think, started out really well and stuff like that, was creating problems for Robbo, but again drifted out of the game and really didn't take advantage of a Robbo there yesterday that may not have been totally on his game. I think Madueke could have done a better job out there, maybe of forcing a booking and all that kind of stuff, the dark arts. But I think overall, I think it was a real good performance by both teams. Again, I think the difference was really just that experience and that tactical balance and stuff like that as well. Obviously Chelsea there with a kind of a makeshift back four. They had to bring players in. Wesley Fofana missing, who's been excellent for them. Cucurella obviously missing as well, who's been absolutely brilliant. Back to his Brighton days, some would say. Phenomenal in the summer for Spain as well. So when you're missing players like that, it's real difficult when you're bringing in a back four that you have to shift around and stuff like that. For us, Liverpool, I think really strong performance again. I think the calmness and everything and the balance that we show, Slot again spoke about it, both in defence and in attack, is very telling in terms of the way we go about our business. I'm very impressed with our calmness and our control out of possession, where there's no anxiety, there's no rashness, none of that kind of stuff. It's very controlled. There's a belief in this squad, that the quality that's in this squad, that when those moments happen, those players will deliver both defensively and offensively. And it's nice to see that the gaffer has that praise and that will to let those players express themselves that way. Mo Salah tracking back defensively, Luis Diaz tracking back defensively, Cody Gakpo, the middle three as well, doing their job really well, protecting that back four and stuff like that. When a team is humming and buzzing like that, and you're protecting and you're batting for each other, you're going to war for each other and stuff like that, that's a really good blend and a good mix that you see there. And I've said it already, that I think one of the key issues for Liverpool this season will be, if we do implode or we do come unstuck, it's going to be from within. It's going to be maybe some of these contract renewals and that kind of thing getting in on us and stuff like that, and maybe potentially injuries. We've seen Jota going off yesterday. Could it have been a red card? Some were saying possibly based on the Saliba one. Others were saying a yellow. Whatever it was, Jota ended up going off what looks like a rib injury or something like that. So let's hope he's okay. Really important for us. Darwin came on, but Darwin's kind of like Darwin doing Darwin kind of things. I think the ref yesterday, I think he could have let a little bit more go, to be honest. I think there's issues over maybe Sancho might have had a penalty claim. potentially, if it was looked at. I think maybe Darwin, there was a lot of tackles shoulder to shoulder and stuff like that were 50-50s, that the ref was blown up for free kicks and stuff like that. So a small drop off there and little things like that. Curtis Jones, folks, let's talk about Curtis Jones. What a week he had. Has a baby. Ultimate thing to happen in your life. Phenomenal. And congratulations to him and the family and the wife or girlfriend or fiance, whichever it is, and all. Absolutely phenomenal. Then you go and score the winner against Chelsea in the Cup. Weeks don't get better than that, folks. Euro Millions don't deliver those type of weeks to these guys, you know. So absolutely phenomenal. Delighted for Curtis Jones. Love to see his play and stuff like that. How much he wanted the ball, how much he demanded the ball, his movement from right to left and back and forward and all, the way he got stuck in, the way he was pressing to get the ball back in that midfield, the job he did on Cole Palmer. Go back and look at those highlights again. The job he did on Cole Palmer is probably phenomenal. He's probably one of few players this season that has done that kind of job on Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer basically first half yesterday was just anonymous. Curtis Jones was on it every single time. Absolutely phenomenal from the boy. We know that player is in there. It's just that player sometimes just doesn't show up, doesn't deliver, or for whatever reason, you know. Then we had Matt coming on and we had Luis Diaz coming on, obviously coming back late from the South American internationals and stuff like that. I think they arrived back late on a Wednesday, probably recovering on a Thursday. So no time at all really to prepare. But the games are going to come thick and fast now, and this was the first test of probably 10, maybe I would say, 10 games coming up or something like that. We know we have Leipzig on Wednesday. We will have a preview for the Leipzig game. We know then Arsenal at the Emirates next week. That is really another acid test on our title credentials and stuff like that and all, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Saliba probably won't be playing. He's got that red card. Will Saka be back? Odegaard out injured, missing key players Arsenal at the moment, and looking just a little bit vulnerable at the moment. Look like they're feeling the pressure of a season where they have to deliver. Not dissimilar to us last season, where we felt that pressure of Klopp leaving and being a kind of a forerunner early on in the season, stuff like that. No, we felt that pressure and then we faded away. Arsenal look like now they're feeling that kind of pressure, so let's see what happens there. They're going to come up against the current best defence in the league, where they did have the best defence in the league, and we're going to see how that goes. That's going to be very interesting. And again, if we can find that balance between the back and the forward line and how we mesh that together with the midfield, and if we're all working hard for each other and everyone's combining in the way that they should and stuff like that, could have a real good day at the Emirates and lay down a marker within this league. Let's see what happens. We will have massively a preview for that as well. Maybe I'll try and get Dell and Kyle and the boys on, and let's do a preview for it and stuff like that and talk about it. The challenges that both teams are facing and all that kind of stuff. City again shown why they are champions yesterday. 95th minute, John Stones robbing the points, they would say, from Wolves, who thought they were set to gain a point yesterday. Gary O'Neill, I'm sure, very frustrated and stuff like that, but Gary has shown he's a really, really good coach and stuff like that, and I think obviously with the results from Wolves at the moment, probably you need to kind of stick with him. But I know a lot of people are calling for change and are worried about Wolves' position at the moment, but they've had some really, really tough games, and in some of them they've played really, really well. But getting back to Liverpool and Chelsea, absolutely, I think yesterday really the difference is just that bit of experience, and that experience will come in this Chelsea side. Myself and Darren have spoke about this Chelsea project and how within 3 years it could be really, really humming. I look at it now and I think they're ahead of themselves at the moment. I certainly think they're laying down a marker to be in that top four. It's going to be very interesting between themselves and Spurs and Villa and what way that all pans out. I think the top three is potentially going to be ourselves and City and Arsenal in whatever order. I think the top four spot is the one that's up for grabs. But let's see how that goes. Great to be top of the table again after a big clash on after a Super Sunday. Really, really controlled game. 2-1 as well. Some people say a very dangerous scoreline, 2-1, all that kind of thing. But I think with us, that control and that balance that we're showing at the moment, we're showing now that maturity, that we don't do these silly things. At 1-all, maybe if it was a Klopp team, and no disrespect to Jurgen, we love him for what he did and all that kind of stuff. But in a Klopp team, maybe that anxiety comes in from the crowd onto the pitch. Then the players, they just abandon the plan and then they start just going for a 30-yarder strikes into the stands and all this kind of stuff. Whereas yesterday, even at 1-all, we continued with the game plan, continued with the balance. We knew the opportunities would come, and when they come, we took them. What a goal by Curtis Jones as well, and what a ball by Mo Salah. How good is Mo Salah at the moment? Absolutely exquisite. Brilliant play yesterday. We did speak on the preview that Nicholas Jackson, if he did break the line, he could potentially score a goal, and that's what happened yesterday. Ebu very unlucky with the trailing leg back to bring him on side and stuff like that. That can just happen. Very, very unlucky. But Nicholas Jackson took the goal lovely as well under a lot of pressure from our centre-backs, so fair play. But I think it was a real good quality game, you know, a real good tactical battle between two managers. Both still trying to find a kind of a blend of what they want to do and stuff like that. Obviously Liverpool yesterday with its challenges, with the boys coming back late from internationals, with Mac potentially maybe still carrying that bit of a groinal issue. Luis Diaz probably a little bit tired from the travel, all that kind of stuff. But boy oh boy did we perform in moments. And like I said, outside of possession, how controlled did we look and how confident did we look. Long may it continue. Roll on Wednesday, RB Leipzig, going to be a very interesting one as well. No doubt you're going to probably be at the game, especially after that roll with Red Bull now. Surely he will be at that game, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Be interesting to see again, a lot of rotation probably coming up now. We're going to be needing to use a lot of players now. Games coming thick and fast. RB Leipzig, Arsenal at the Emirates, back-to-back Brighton, Cup and League game. So let's see what happens now. But roll on Reds. If you could, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like for the top of the table Reds at the moment. Let's keep this going. Up the Reds.